Hello, welcome to the Sillinder Devlogs. This is going to be a little YouTube series meant to promote and showcase my game Sillinder Somewhat Uneventful Tuesday, as well as a commentary over the design decisions of the game as I make them, cause I enjoy talking about the creation process almost as much as the actual thing. I'll go on about what this is later in the video though. Right now, let's move on to the devlog. As of right now, I'm actually on Sillinder's last level, level 7. Level 7 is a factory kind of place. It's more gamey and generic, but that's okay because it's an intentional thing I'm playing around with. The level begins with this A section. It's got lots of gizmos and gimmicks. The cool thing is some of them are even synced to the music. Look at this. A is already done gameplay-wise, however, and while I'm gonna get into its graphics later on in this series, I don't have as much a memory on it to talk about it as in-depth as this other thing. If you didn't know, it's common practice to make all the gameplay things with placeholder graphics first, so that when you scrap something you don't waste all that time you spent on the art. I'm pretty proud of what's been done here, as it's basically the send-off to Sillinder's unique moveset, which you won't get to play with beyond this because of the transformation sections. Every level in this game has a transformation that changes the moveset in a cool, fun way. And I was gonna make level 7 have only one, but after some extremely light convincing from the other half of the Sillinder development team, I actually decided to bring them all back for one big boss rush sort of thing. It's a more gamey level, remember? Now, there are a few problems with this. If I want to include all of them, the level would either be extremely long or extremely surface level with all the transformations just appearing for a couple of rooms and then leaving like a bunch of crappy cameos. So it was on my usual mountain rock meditation session that I got a very convenient and interesting idea. I just glued them together. Which was actually the best idea I've had yet. This concept naturally gives each transformation an interesting new thing to explore, for basically zero extra work for me. In the end, I still did put work into making each section have its own new mechanics to play around with, of course, but it was still a big time save I definitely needed. The combinations in question are Level 1's Shroom mode with Level 4's 2D mode, Level 2's Paint mode with Level 6's Organ Buddy, and Level 3 Swimming with Level 5 Spring mode. I'm going over organ paint in this video as I chose to make that one first myself. Something funny about the organ paint fusion is that the combination worked instantly, which is really odd because I don't usually program things to work without clashing with each other like I did these transformations. This is the one I first thought of and the one that made the most sense. The paint movement is one of many transformations meant to make Sillinder feel faster, and the Organ Buddy is meant to push you to move faster on Sillinder's base moveset. That makes them complement each other pretty nicely. I actually didn't get to do anything too interesting with paint back in level 2 because of early game simplicity, as well as my inexperience with designing at the time. So here I try to go all out with the mechanics, which were pretty hard to think of since you can basically do two things in this mode. Bouncing forward and bouncing some other place. So I decided to base the mechanics around bouncing in specific places. Usually getting an effect out of it like bouncing up a wall or getting a boost of speed. Working these little guys up. As for Organ Buddy, you can't really mess with it that way, so the only thing I did is bring back a mechanic I scrapped for simplicity back in level 6. This being, a bunch of moving food that escapes from you when you get close to it. I'm quite worried about Organ Buddy getting sidelined here because most of the new things deal with just paint. Whether or not that's the case, I'm not really gonna know until my 12-man playtester team gets back to me. Eventually. When I make these levels, it all starts with a good bit of brainstorming. I actually didn't get nearly as many concepts as I'd wanted, but the ones I did get seemed to suffice just fine. I usually want plenty of concepts so I can pick out the most required ones to make and shelve the lamer ones. At this point of development, the prototyping part has gotten so easy, the hardest part is actually keeping focus on what I'm doing. There's often some sort of coding challenge that waits for me here. But this time it was pretty straightforward. just a little bit of tweaking how air movement works and messing with my moving platform code, which tends to get a little messy. After that comes level design. Now this is something that's actually given me trouble in the past. But after all this practice with level 7a, it seems to be on a difficulty similar to the other sort of work this project demands from me. The only challenge here lies in juggling all these different mechanics. I try to introduce them around one every 2 rooms to give the player some breathing space, but I'm starting to doubt how necessary that is given no one was bothered by the same mechanic saturation in level 7a. Either that, or I'm actually juggling them perfectly, which is pretty cool. Playtesting results are pretty lacking for now. It's probably because of everyone being in vacation right now, and maybe because Organ Buddy was just bugged in a lot of the builds, and I didn't realize. That's alright though, these sections are still in a pretty malleable state, so I could just make that next month's problem. And then they did playtest it and realized everything was broken, and I made it way too hard, so I quickly changed everything and it's probably good now. And that's about all I can say on the organ paint section for now, so let's move on to the next section of this video, the explanation section. These videos will be laid out in 3 sections: the devlog, the mid-section, and the outro. The devlog goes over my latest developments on the game, and also serves as extra content to post on the more short-form platforms. While the mid-section can be anything I feel like adding here, which I've got some pretty fun ideas on. Right now, it's this explanation section. The outro plugs in my 2 other Sillinder stuff currents, Sillinder Saturday Funny, which is a weekly comic strip in the Sillinder world I've been making for almost a year now, and the Sillinder Thursday fan art feature, which is meant to incentivize fans to make stuff for the game in exchange for exposure, as well as for my own amusement. This is all part of my grand master plan to grow out my internet audience and build up for Sillinder's upcoming release later this year. Now, with all this hassle of making videos and posting in like 8 different platforms, you might start to wonder why I'm selling out my time like this and not working on my game. The answer would be, no one's really watching or buying this game. Don't get me wrong, the following I've garnered over the past 2 years is actually pretty good for what it's worth, but I still don't think it's really gonna be enough for release. Hell, my grand plan might not be enough either, but I'm pretty confident I'm doing all I can within my power, so I'm just gonna try not to think about that too much. The rest of my plan is as follows. Keep doing these till the game's soft completion, then I'll start making crazier stuff while I polish the game, which will hopefully be less demanding on me. At the same time, I'm also organizing a few Discord events just to give them something to chew on and maybe build a little hype. After the game releases, I'll probably keep all these going for a short bit and then take a long break. Maybe just disappear, who knows. So far, this plan seems to work fairly well. The short-form platforms seem to enjoy the new screen border on my Sillinder clips, as much as a 12-year-old can, at least. And YouTube's probably gonna wake up as soon as I start posting these regularly. And that's it. Yeah, these are pretty short. And that's about it. These are pretty short because I've still gotta work on the game on the side. Well, this is on the side, the game's on the main lane. Yeah,